Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. We are back with some Clash Royale. Now, we all know the balance changes were announced yesterday, and a few of the items that we discussed in the predictions video did happen to play into part inside the balance changes, so I was a bit happy with that. Now, I'm just going to briefly go over the changes because I'm sure you guys have already seen videos, but for those of you that are not caught up with the news or checked it out in-game, I'll just touch base on a couple things. And then what we're going to do in this video here is go over a deck that I've actually been working on throughout the morning, a couple of different variations of a deck that could be used after the balance changes. I personally think that it will be effective, but you know, I'll let you guys judge after you test it out and see how it plays. So let's get right into this video. So you guys already know, drop that intro. Alright, so here goes the changes, again, real quick. So the Royal Ghost got nerfed, hit point reduction of 9%. The Royal Hogs got nerfed with a damage reduction of 6%. Another thing that they also did is they changed the mass index of the card. So in other words, the weight of the Royal Hogs have been decreased so that when they drop down and hit units, they won't necessarily be able to move them all over the place like they were used to. So it should give you, more opportunities to have your cards back into play immediately. That's just more like a technical change, but I thought it was important to share with you guys. Now, the Infernal Tower, which we did discuss, got a hit point increase of 3%. Not too bad. I think that was a good change. Skeleton Barrel, which was actually a really big surprise, got a def damage increase of 62%. And the Mega Knight got a buff as well of a hit speed faster from 1.8 seconds to 1.7. So this should really help out against all the P.E.K.K.A.s in the arena. I don't know if it's going to be a dramatic difference, but I'll tell you this, you're going to see a lot of Mega Knight bait decks. We might even see the old OJ deck come back as well. Next is the Tombstone. So the spawn speed is going to be slower. It's going to be 2.9 to 3.1. And when destroyed, spawn skeletons will be reduced from 4 to 3. So overall, the analytics are showing that there's going to be two less skeletons spawning throughout that whole interaction. The Giants is getting their nerf. The hit points is going down 2%. The Magic Archer, which I was surprised about this, their first attack is going to be slower. I thought the Magic Archer was fine the way it was because it's not a card that's easily to throw down in an arena and play. It's definitely not a no-skill card. Like, you have to be able to place it in the right spot in order to maximize his lifespan inside of a push. You got the Cannon card also getting nerfed. The hit speed is going slower from 1.2 seconds to 1.3. Not too crazy. And then the Dark Goblin, we all knew from the vote, the damage increase is going up 4%. So those are the changes. Now let's get into the deck. Alright, cool. So here's the deck, folks. And I'm going to explain why certain cards are in this deck. So the Skeleton Barrel, obviously, right? Because I think that buff is tremendous. That Death Explosion is a good amount and buys you extra time for the skeletons to hit against the tower and not get defended against. The minions, I think, are key because you still see a lot of P.E.K.K.A.s, you still see a lot of Royal Giants. So to be able to have a cheap flying troop that can also help you defend against Lava Loon will be very important. Now, only downside is that against Electro Dragon, it might be a little bit on the underwhelming side, but fortunately, you don't see too many Electro Dragons yet, right? And it also gives you a card that, in a sense, can help you bait out the Zap spell that will be used against the Skeleton Barrel. Then you have the Executioner. Big reason why I use the Executioner is because I was looking for an air defense troop that isn't necessarily damaged by Fireball so quickly. So I figured he's a decent air tank, well, air defense, right? And should be a great addition behind the Mega Knight because it'll help him defend against what I think will be even more of a meta building, the Furnace. The Furnace is going to see an incredible uptick now with the Tombstone being nerfed. And I got to be real honest with you. I talked about the Furnace in my predictions video. I thought the Furnace should have gotten nerfed because the HP is long. The duration is insane. And undefended, the Furnace Tower will do chip damage against towers. So you can play opposite lane and just leave the Furnace there working, or you can use it to actually support your Mega Knight. So it's a really good card. And worst case scenario, if you need to defend against a Hog or a balloon, you can always throw it down in the center of the arena to distract and buy you a little bit more time to cycle back to your minions, Dark Goblin, Executioner, or your Mega Knight. Now, as far as spells, I switched off from what I was using last meta, which was the lightning spell. I think that the Fireball is going to have even more value now because the Mega Knight buff is going to bring out more minion hordes. You're also going to see more wizards, so the Fireball is going to be able to shred them up. And again, another reason why I use the Executioner versus the Wizard. And I also add in the Zap because now with more skeleton barrels, you're going to need Zap as well. Now the Dark Goblin I threw in because the Dark Goblin was already a good card. It did not need to be changed. So the fact that it got a buff and it was already good, you can only imagine how wonderful it's going to be going forward. So average elixir cost is 3.9. Not too crazy. I felt like you can still play the Mega Knight a lot more often in a single elixir time because the deck cost is not too crazy. And again, you're going to get a lot of return of value with the Mega Knight because you're going to be able to drop them down on, Russian troops. And you can easily get an elixir trade-off, or you can break even on the push, so you're going to be okay with that. So now let's get into 2 replays, folks. We'll explain how to use the deck, and then you guys will be able to enjoy it in the arenas, all right? So let's get into it. All right, so here goes the first replay, folks. Now this one here, I chose to show you because for one, it's got a Hog. It's also got the Minion Horde. So, and then also got a Giant Skeleton, right? All cards that can give you some trouble, and then the Wizard. So right there, they throw down the Furnace, and I already spoke about the Furnace. You know how I feel. So at this point, it's kind of like you can't beat up join them, right? So we use the Dark Goblin because we're gonna have to start destroying those little pups. They played a Hog Rider with the Wizard. So right here, you can use your Mega Knight, right, and not worry about wasting elixir right away. That worked out great for you, right? Now you're going to back up your Mega Knight with the Executioner because it's going to help you defend against many different type of cards. And what I also like about it is that because you got the Executioner, you can also defend against counters that will knock down your Skeleton Barrel, which you're going to see right here. You're able to sweep up whatever's going to come there, and you still defend your Mega Knight. So we got that tower down fairly quickly, I think. And we're still looking very good on elixir. We got 7 to be able to defend against a counter push. So see how the Furnace right there, you don't pay attention to it, it's going to do chip damage galore. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to do the Furnace on the left-hand side, just so that we can start doing chip damage as well. And now that the Giant Skeleton's there, it's going to help us out with bringing down his HP. Alright, so now the Dark Goblin's going to chip away the best we can. We got that Wizard back there, so I'm not expecting the Dark Goblin to last too long. But we're able to use the Mega Knight to drop down on the Wizard, buying us a little bit more time to get some hits in and minimize the amount of that death explosion. Now we got the Executioner push again with the Mega Knight. And difference is now we got Furnace Pups helping us out. So that Skeleton Barrel that scarred me from last time was able to get taken out quickly enough for the Executioner still to have HP left. And we're going to try to sneak in another Skeleton Barrel. This time we'll throw the Dark Goblin on the right hand side to defend along with the Executioner. We're going to be able to take out the Wizard. And we're going to do damage against this tower. Now they're going to sneak in a Hog. You can use the Furnace in an emergency scenario there to defend against the Hog. Even trade on the Elixir, so you're not going to be in a bad predicament. So now you just got to defend. We're looking very good. We got 2 towers down. Middle tower's down to 1,000. So we just got to defend and just not make too many mistakes, right? Because obviously you're going to make some mistakes because opponent's going to be aggressive. Like for example here, they threw down the Giant Skeleton right away. Wasn't really able to defend against it. And I was actually trying to go for the 3 crowns. So made a mistake with throwing that Fireball because now they were able to clone the Giant Skeleton for a double explosion. But luckily enough, we dropped down that Furnace just in case they played a Hog and so that those pups can hit the Giant Skeleton. So it worked out again. Now let's go into our last replay for this video. And then from there, we'll just do a quick recap. And then you guys are free to enjoy the rest of your day. Alright, cool. So here goes the last replay. Now this one here has a Miner, a Knight, right? The Knight can do pretty good against the Mega Knight. The E-Wiz, and also it includes the 3 Musketeers, which is a very powerful card, especially when it comes out of nowhere. So we'll play the Dark Goblin there. We already see that they have a log, so we got to keep that in mind. We'll play our Furnace now. Let our count build up, because I want to see what other cards they have as well. So there goes the Knight. So now we know we need to defend on the left lane. Because once you see a Knight, you know that's going to be something being put behind it. Because the Knight is one of the best tanks in the game. So now they're playing Mega Knight. Kind of failed to mention that earlier, right? So now we're going to use our Executioner. And they're doing it pretty solid. They did a good job there. I mean, definitely caught me off guard. But we were able to distract with the minions and give us an opportunity to use the Executioner even more. So again, another reason why I like the Executioner, because his HP is incredible. A lot of good value. I know he's expensive, but one of the best cards in the game. And normally, you should have the Executioner paired up with the Tornado spell. But I feel like the Fireball added more value in defending, the cards in this deck. Alright, so now we'll let the count build up even more. So if you guys did want to substitute the Tornado with the Fireball, that's totally okay as well. Alright, we'll play our Furnace because now we want to do chip damage. And we're going to play, I think we're going to play the Executioner, right? Because we want to save the Mega Knight just to be able to take advantage of that drop damage. So now they're playing 3 Musketeers. So right there, 4 Elixir. Tower damage as well, and another 2, so 6. So we got a 3 Elixir advantage there. And we got rid of the Knight. So we kind of have a little decent push going. We're going to throw in our Skeleton Barrel because, again, we could defend. They dropped down a Mega Knight, which was a great move. So now we use our minions to be able to defend against it. They use their locks, so now we can use our Dark Goblin back on the cycle. And I kind of bled Elixir there. I was kind of waiting for the Invis to go across the bridge so I could drop down Mega Knight. And we got to stop their Miner, because remember, with the Miner, he's going to be able to do chip damage until he can secure the victory. We drop the Dark Goblin to the side. Just in case they throw down a log, I want to be able to space it away from the Skeleton Barrel push I'm doing right now. And right there, we're defending our Mega Knight. We use our minions. We got our Furnace in the middle just to be able to kite. And we'll drop our Fireball on top of that Miner. Because we got to get rid of it, right? We had to be able to get the Miner out of the situation to avoid that chip damage. So there you go, folks. That's pretty much how you use the deck. And I'm going to bring it up for you again so you can see it. Alright, so that's the deck right there, folks. As you guys saw, it did pretty well. And once these balance changes do kick in, you should be able to use this and maximize it. If you want to change a couple cards, the Fireball could be changed. Zap could be changed as well. But as far as cards I strongly believe should be in this deck is the Mega Knight, Executioner, Furnace. Dark Goblin you can even take out as well if you want. I only threw it in there to be able to take advantage of the buff. But the Skeleton Barrel plays a great part in this deck, so I wouldn't take that out. So other than that, folks, appreciate all the support. Channel is growing incredibly. So again, that's all because of you guys showing me the support, slapping those likes, sharing the videos, and being able to come in and drop nice comments and positive words for me, all right? So other than that, thank you, folks. Peace.